Hey y'all, welcome back to another video on my channel. It's been a while. I have learned that I don't like clipping this onto me. I like actually using it because it keeps my hands busy. Because I talk with my hands, and if you know me, my favorite movie of all time is Talladega Nights. And I love the part where he's like, what am I supposed to do with my hands? So yeah. Anyways, let's get on with the video for today. So it's been a while, like I said, had some life stuff happen, but we're getting everything back on track. Because if y'all didn't know this, I don't do this to make money or anything. This isn't like the only thing I do with my life. I do have a full-time job, planning a wedding. I have a bachelorette trip coming up in 2 weeks. So like, I got other stuff going on, which kind of also explains why April was a very slow month for me. I only read 7 books, and that sucks, at least to me. I think I'm still, well, I know right now I'm at like 56 or 57 for the year, with the one I've finished, maybe 2 in May so far. I don't know. I haven't wrote them down yet. They're in my Goodreads though. But anyways, for the month of April, I read 7 books. Again, a lot of stuff happened this month, so it was a very slow month. And 3 of them were rereads. So, that's that. So, without further ado, we had 4, well, sorry, you know what, this is just going to be awkward video day, because I started using CapCut instead of Canva to edit my videos, so I don't have to do shorter videos with transitions. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, without further ado, the 4 physical books that I read, 3 of them were rereads. So, first of all, you know the drill. I'll put it somewhere on the screen, wherever I feel like doing it, honestly. Like, I'm playing around with new things. So, Leave Me Behind by K.M. Moranova. I think that's how you say her last name. So this book actually popped up on TikTok. It's a dark military romance, which I've been loving my dark romance lately. Haven't read a military romance in a while, so that one kind of itched a spot that needed it. It's kind of like the ultimate enemies to lovers, where they like actually want to kill each other, which was kind of odd. Just saying. Forced proximity. Also, they're both in the dark forces and basically have no other life to return to other than what they've been trained to do. So, I know in my Goodreads review for this book, though, it was very lengthy, but I know one part that stuck out is like, I said it ripped my heart out and threw it off a cliff. That is the best way to explain it. And I gave it 5 stars. If I could have given it 6, I would have. Honestly, I would have given it 10. I loved it. And I think like 2 days after I finished it, the author actually got picked up by a publisher. So I actually had just, like when I finished it, ordered the copy that was out, which is actually the author's artwork also, which I thought was really cool. Then, when she got picked up by a big publisher where she's releasing the deluxe version, I think it's September. I could be wrong. I have it pre-ordered though, because I loved it that much. But I'm pretty sure it's her artwork on it also. So I think that was really cool that they let her keep that part of it with her. It's just different artwork for the deluxe edition. But either way, I think that's pretty awesome to be, one, artistic and creative when it comes to writing, but also actual artwork, because I can barely draw a good stick figure. So, yeah. Highly, highly recommend that book. Just not if you're just now getting into dark romance. You know what? I should make a video on. Actually, I'm probably not the best person to do that. I know who would be, though. But a video on books to get started in dark romance. I know someone that would be great to do that. Or at least I know a good creator that I feel like could make a good one of those. And I've talked about her a lot on here. So, maybe I should, maybe she's done one. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Now, back to just, ADHD brain for a second. You know what would be really fun to do for a video, but I don't think y'all would listen? Is me just literally sit here and talk about the thoughts that go through my brain, like what I just had for a moment. I feel like that would be more like a podcast, though, which I don't think y'all would like because, I barely have anyone watching these videos as it is. I think we've made that very clear. I do this for fun, not because I make money or anything. So, maybe, let's get the Instagram and YouTube thing down first. Then we'll talk podcast. Baby steps. Baby steps. Let's consistently post on both. Then do that. Okay. Moving on. Back on track. So next is a reread. And I have done a review of it already. And that is God of Malice by Rena Kent. I am rereading the Legacy of God series because I loved them so much that I can't rate them without rereading them first. And I've said this before. I know that there's other books in the Rena Kent universe. This is just what I started with because that's what was recommended to me. So, yeah, we're working with what we got. So I'm rereading these again first. Then I'll go back and reread the other books at some point. But for now, God of Malice was a reread, 5 stars. I did like it more than the first time I read it. I think because I saw a little bit more of Killian in the other books. However, in my current re-rankings of everybody, he sits at number 5. And he's not my number 6 anymore. I will say that he was in last place. But he's moved up a spot. But I can't really do much better than that. I don't hate him. So he's not at number 5 because I hate him. I don't hate any of them. The top 3 are the ones I'm going to struggle with where to put them. Because it's just, you know what? You'll see. Moving on. God of Pain by Rena Kent. So number 2. 5 stars, of course. It was a reread. My favorite freaking part about Creighton is when he calls her Little Purple because she's obsessed with the color purple and that's just how he sees her. I just think that is so freaking cute. I have no other words for that other than it's so freaking cute. And how he opens up to her with everything, and he's so quiet with everybody else. But with her, he actually talks a little bit. Sorry, y'all. It's 9:30. I've been up since 5:30, so sorry about that. Film when I can. Again, I do have a full-time job during the day, so I do this when I can. And I'm literally doing homework for grad school after I finish filming this and editing tomorrow. So that's life. Yes. Then the shooting happens, and the first time I read it, my heart broke. And then I honestly kind of forgot about it going into the reread. And so it was like my heart was fixed and then broke again. So yeah, so Creighton though, he's in number 4. He's kind of the same way with Killian. I can't put him in the top 3. Because while I do love him and I love the Little Purple and the kidnapping and the island, he does not meet the same, not really criteria, but the top 3. There's no budging. Those 3 will be in the top 3. I just don't know what order those top 3 will be in. So yeah, he's at number 4. And moving on to someone who is in the top 3, God of Wrath by Rena Kent. Yeah. So Jeremy is in the running for top 3, but I don't know where in the top 3 yet he will be. So for right now, because I only read the first 3 in April, for right now he is number 1. However, when we get to my May reads, that is subject to change. So do with that what you will. However, Jeremy was my original number one all along. I thought he could never be topped. And then Nico came, and then Eli came, and it's just I can't. Those three, I can't do without rereading. So for right now, still my number one. I mean, who wouldn't love a good stalker? You know. So yeah, that's it for physical books for the month of April, which I don't have any of those with me because y'all know I have books in two houses. So if I'm not currently reading it, it's not with me because that's just hard to keep up with, at least for rereads. However, you know, it's just my books are all over the place, but it's fine. It's whatever. We're making things work, you know. I don't have as much room to put all of my books. There's like 400, so at least I last counted last week. Well, I counted, like, I was visiting family, and so I counted what was down there, then counted what was up here, and I'm at like 370 something. But I think there's still a box in storage, so you know, we'll figure it out eventually one day. So moving on to the two Kindle books I read. First was Splintered Ruins by, I'm gonna butcher this possibly, but Florence DuPont. I gave it 4 stars. So here's the thing. This author actually popped up on my Instagram or my Bookstagram, and this book was her debut book. She was self-published, which honestly I give props to her for self-publishing because that's absolutely insane. It was an enemies to lovers fantasy. The only thing, which I said this in my Goodreads review for it also, I struggled a lot with the formatting and some grammar, but I feel like that's part of the territory that comes with self-publishing because you don't have an editor, you don't have art creators, you don't have people to do those things for you. So I feel like as this writer progresses in her craft, she'll hopefully get picked up by a publisher and get those resources because I feel like she definitely has opportunity, or not opportunity, like potential. That's the word I'm looking for. Has the potential to do really good with a publisher. Just needs that chance to do that. So yeah, not a bad book though. I highly recommend it. It was on Kindle Unlimited. So yeah, it's a good little thing to try out. Then again, I'm gonna butcher names. Offside Play by Alyssa Lemire. You know what? We're gonna go with Lemire. I'm gonna hope that that's right. I gave this book like 4 stars, maybe like 4.25, kind of in the middle. It was I needed a fluffy romance to get me out of the rut I was in the middle of the month, and this did that for me. It just didn't. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, Frank, but it was still really good, which is 4.25. Not because anything's wrong with it, it just didn't hit the way other books have been lately. So overall, it's a college hockey romance. Has Hudson, who is a 6'4" tattooed hockey player. You know, we love tall hockey players around here. And then Summer, who is a violinist and has a controlling ex when it comes to her music. And I wanted to punch him in the face and throw my Kindle across the room because of him. But I feel like this is a very fluffy, safe romance read. Happy ending. Like no like cheating drama or anything like that. It's just they love each other. He's possessive and protective of her. It's a slow burn. No relationship drama. It's chill. So yeah. Okay, lastly was actually an audiobook. I did an audiobook for April. And it was Here We Go Again, My Life in Television by Betty White. I freaking loved it. I did give it 4 stars though, but I loved it because I love Betty White. And I remember, like, anyone who knows my mom can ask my mom, like, me growing up, every day getting ready for school, this was the TV schedule. Whenever she was getting ready, I would like go and like bother her while I was getting ready for school. It'd be 6:30. No, 6 to 6:30 was Saved by the Bell. I have now, since I've been older, watched it all myself, loved it. Then 6:30 to 7 was Golden Girls. When Golden Girls finished, if I was not ready to like eat breakfast and start getting out the door, we had issues. I usually got yelled at, but it's fine. So that was kind of how I kept track of my mornings. It's like I would be lazy and lay in bed through Save the Bell, and then once I heard Golden Girls in their room, I would get up and start getting ready so I didn't get in trouble. So yeah, that's all that I read for April, which is kind of sad. However, I didn't read anything with my April TBR, either, at least physical books, because of everything that was going on. So we're just going to do a quick little May TBR right now. And, first thing on it, freaking Safe Haven by Nicholas Sparks. I was supposed to read it again last month. And we see where I got there. So, it's, we're going to set a really high goal for myself. Even though I have my bachelorette trip this month, I feel like I'll be able to still read because it's like a 3.5 hour drive there, 3.5 hour drive back. It's not even like a full just bachelorette trip. It's like a wedding trip. It's like my girls and his guys, we're all just going on one big trip together and staying in a cabin together. But like doing our own things. There's like 2 days, or no, one like full day we're all spending together, and then another day we're just having dinner together. Everything else is split unless we change things last minute. So, maybe I could read a few books before then. Then we have The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. Yeah, something like that. Again, was supposed to read last month. Did that happen? No. Then The Long Way Home, the next book in the Magnolia Parks universe by Jessa Hastings. Did I read it last month? No. So it is now on my May TBR. Then Wild Love by Elsie Silver. Again, I was supposed to read last month. That didn't happen. So that's part of it. However, again, I'm setting big goals for myself. So we're going to pull at least one of each color in my TBR jar. Again, the colors of the sticky notes have literally no reference to genre or anything. It's just when I move some books around and I add books to that shelf, I just grab a pack of sticky notes, write the title, stick it in there. So it's like each load of books is the same color, basically. That's pretty much it with that. I don't know how this is going to do hanging right there, but I don't really want to hang. See, I don't like clipping it. The audio might get really messed up for a second, but you know what? It's fine. Okay, moving on. So, I'm just gonna jump these out. I do have a Kindle TBR already made for this month, simply because, I didn't want to bring back the rest of Legacy of Gods, and so I'll finish all of that on my Kindle for this month, unless I go visit my mom this weekend, which I am going to visit my mom this weekend. So unless I bring those 3 back with me this weekend, which is a possibility, Okay, so God of War, God of War, but God of Ruin, God of Fury, God of War. So 3. And then I am actually so when I read Elsie Silver, I read the Chestnut Spring series first. So I'm starting at like the beginning, like chronologically, and reading the Gold Rush Ranch series. So I just finished the first one. So that'll be with my May reads, of course. So then I also have the next 3 in that, which is a photo finish, front runner, and false start. So that's 6 already for Kindle. And then The Long Game by Kenna King, which came out, which, if you didn't know, I love Kenna King. I am a huge supporter for her, especially after the Hawkeyes hockey series, and I bought that whole series. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 for my Kindle, 4 physical so far, and we're going to add 3 more physical. So 14 for this month is the goal, not including the 1, possibly 2 I've already finished for this month. I don't remember. So, I feel like that's a little crazy goal. However, gotta start somewhere. And June will be busy enough. I don't think I'll pick anything for June unless I actually finish all of these. So whatever doesn't get finished in May, we'll just roll over to June and stick to just that. But, I feel like being a little crazy today. So, let's see. For a pink sticky note, I get the Strawberry Patch Pancake House, which is by Lori Gilmore. Is the next book in the Dream Harbor series. I have not read it yet. I do have it though, so I'm excited for that. I have the next one. It's like gingerbread something. I have it pre-ordered. Okay, for green is Lost Apothecary. I'm sorry I can't read this again. Amateur here, but Lost Apothecary. I don't know who the author is. I heard good things about it, and it was on sale at Barnes & Noble. And it was one of the days it was like buy one, get one half off or something. And I had like 5 books, I think. And they were like, well, you can get one more and get it half off. And so I just went and grabbed another book that I heard was good. And I just haven't read it yet. So, yeah. So, for yellow, so the last one we're going to add to all this craziness. I've actually already read that. Just didn't pull it out yet. Some books I don't pull out of the jar. I just am in the mood and I grab it. That's in that same series. What the heck? See, this is why the same colors are... Okay. This says Magnolia Parks. So this would be like the next one in the series. But I already have one in this stack. So I'm just going to put it back and get another one. Oh my gosh, that's that same series. So I finished rereading that one, and I just never took these out, I think. Okay, everything here is beautiful. I don't know who the author is, and I think this book was actually gifted to me. So, we'll see how that goes. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm tired. So, yeah, that's it for the video today. So, we're at 14 books is the goal for May. That's crazy. So, yeah, I hope you all have a great... When will this be posted? This will probably be posted Wednesday, May 7th is my goal. But, who knows at this point, because I don't even know anymore. Actually, no, I want to post this on Friday, May 9th. I think that's when I wanted to do it. So, you'll see this when you see this, I guess. I guess we're all just going to figure it out together. So, yeah, I hope you all have a great week, and I will talk to y'all again soon.